Hello and welcome to another Sydney City Space Slugs XTC stream. We have a very exciting matchup here today. We've got Michael O'Connor on the Australian side on the left, and we've got Tommy Adams from Team USA on the right. Two very good players in their own right. The current standing of these two foes is 1 victory to Australia and 5 victories to Team USA. So the round is very much decided. However, there is a lot of pride still on the line for Australia here, and also this is a really interesting matchup. I have with me Suresh. Suresh, how are you?
I'm great, Cam. How are you going?
I'm so good. I'm so good. I've been genuinely very excited for this match. I love Michael O'Connor's squad. I love the asymmetry of it, and I love some good ace play as well. So I think this is going to be a really interesting game. I'll quickly run through Michael O'Connor's squad, and then you can do the honors of running us through the incredibly long and twisted Tommy Adams squad.
Okay.
All right. So on Michael's side, we have Obi-Wan Kenobi with Patience, Marksmanship, Auto Blasters, R7, A7. We have Anakin Skywalker in the Naboo N1 with Intimidation, Passive Senses, Advanced Proton Torpedoes. Luminara Unduli with Calibrated Laser Targeting, and Broadside with Ion Cannon Turret and Ion Bombs. Very interesting asymmetrical squad here. Lots of little tricks and combos, which I do quite like from Mike here. But he's going up against a two-ship ace list.
Yeah, I started to look at this one. I'm like, where's the third ship? Did the third ship just not load properly? And then I delve down into this, and you realize what Tommy's got here. So Major Vonreg with in the Thai BA with Lone Wolf and Afterburners, and also Kylo Ren with, guess what? Supernatural Reflexes. Now that's a blast from the past, alongside Prime Thrusters and Proton Torpedoes. So this should be a pretty interesting, honestly, just match to see how this gets flown. That's a really interesting Kylo build with Supernatural Reflexes and Prime Thrusters. So you're getting a lot of reposition efficiency, really. Let's call that here. So you take a slippery ship, make it even more slippery, give it proton torpedoes, and this is why we have a two-ship list on the first order side, Cam. Yeah, they have. We're good to go.
Sorry guys, my mic's on mute. I think I was muted the whole time. No, I wasn't. I wasn't muted the whole time. Just in this last conversation. Yeah, sorry. The combo of Supernatural and the Silencer ship ability is really strong. Something that the original designers, I think, had said that shouldn't have existed in the game in the first place. So there's a lot of flexibility on Tommy's side of the board, and I'm not sure how well Michael will be able to get arcs onto Kylo. I mean, I think first player did end up going to Michael, so Obi-Wan can't really react once Kylo has actually finished moving. There's a big advantage, I think, on Tommy's side. As long as he doesn't make any mistakes, I think he's in a really good spot to just fly around the board and just take little pot shots and fly away to victory.
Yeah, I tend to agree. This is going to be really interesting to see how Michael approaches trying to deal with Prime Thruster, Supernatural, Kylo Ren. You know, you can't even play for a block. So we'll see if that means he actually decides he wants to pick on Major Vonreg. Now, Vonreg's got a couple of tricks of his own there with Afterburners and, of course, Lone Wolf, which will really... Lone Wolf alone synergizes with his two-ship list. And then the nice dial combined with Afterburners means that even Vonreg might be a little bit tough to pin down, but we'll see how he goes on that. And of course, with the XTC rules, we are on the 90-second delay there, Cam, but still a few followers in the chat. Couple of people saying, good luck, Tommy. And the Harp Daddy himself, Tom Harper, says, let's go, Michael. So good to have you with us this morning, or this evening, as it is.
This day, I like to say, I've decided to stop using time-specific vernacular, and I am just going to say this day.
Look, I just steal all my lines from the Truman Show.
Yeah, fair. So, what do you think is going to be the relevance of the system phase boost or barrel roll from Obi-Wan? Do you think there's going to be much relevance here?
I actually still think it is. I've watched more Eta 2s than I've flown, to be quite honest, but I've seen some of the really the competent players that I really look up to using that system phase reposition to really good effect, even when their ships are moving before the opponent, because you get to do a few funny things like that barrel roll out and the one turn in. It just changes the angle that your opponent actually has to consider. So I think it's still a useful tool to the Republic player.
I think so. What are we thinking of Tommy's strategy here? I mean, I feel very telegraphed that Kylo would be bait here. Michael has not fallen for the bait. I think Michael's just sort of running through his game plan here, which is come around those gas clouds and try and engage in this open area and pull out Von Reg into this open area, or at least use ion bombs and the ion cannon turret to try and keep him from getting in the behind. What are you thinking Michael's strategy might be here?
I tend to agree. You don't really want to get into a dogfight against Kylo Ren and Major Von Reg in those gas clouds. So fighting the open space, at least initially, I think will work out a little bit better for him. You also, if you do get a shot on Kylo, you just don't want it to be obstructed by a gas cloud. So I think you're right. Although with Von Reg coming through, you've got to do something. You've got to do something there about him. Otherwise, you get in on your flank and then start taking shots. Probably at broadside, to be honest. If we think Tommy's strategy is going to be to plink and run, but that's I really think the top right of the screen is really where Michael wants to be, and in the gas clouds is really where Tommy wants to be, and we'll see whether Kylo Ren maybe just takes one more turn of stalling on his own board edge, and then maybe accelerates into the gas clouds and gets away from the Republic ships.
I'm actually sort of surprised that Michael didn't just take a lock there. I think Kylo was in range. I know the combo of the Obi-Wan and Anakin is a good one, but I actually think he's going to struggle to get those advanced proton torpedoes off. Because he does have passive sensors. Yeah, I just feel like the reposition ability for Tommy here is just too great for him to use. He's going to have to try and block up with all the other ships and keep Anakin there and try and get that range one shot. But I just think you're not going to catch Supernatural Kylo with advanced proton torpedoes. You've got to try and get them on Von Reg. I think it might just end up being a blank card in this game, though. But I was just thinking a target lock there would have been good, because there's no way Kylo's going to come back in and turn in and face you. So you may as well get a lock now, just have it there. You can reacquire later and onto Von Reg if you have to, but it's just nice to have it. Oh, I tell a lie. He did turn in. I really thought Kylo was going to bug out of there.
It's really interesting. I actually thought, one more turn running and then come in through the gas clouds, but turning in here, of course, the master of plinking is Kylo Ren, so you can take some good shots, bug out in your TIE silencer, and then come back in to do the same. So
I'm just bringing up Luminara's ability here, because I always forget it. While a friendly ship at range 0 to 2 defends, if it is not in the attacker's bullseye, you may spend one force. If you do, change a crit to a hit or a hit to an eyeball. So very good defensive ability there. And it looks like Kylo did not have anyone in bullseye, so Luminara will be able to use her defensive ability here. And that's a very interesting. I honestly, I was going to chat about it, but we just didn't get a chance. I honestly thought Von Reg was going to just 5 straight down towards the left-hand side of the board and actually come around for a really solid flank. I don't know if I love that position. If he gets ioned here, he's in a bit of a bad spot. I mean,
yeah, he's in an awful spot if he gets ioned.
That's real bad because then you've got I think and the ion is probably Michael's best path to an advanced proton torpedo. And really, Tommy has the advantage here. He just needs to get half points on something, and he can spend most of the game running.
Yep.
So the onus was on Michael to get an engagement, and it looks like Tommy's sort of given it to him here. So he's going to take a strain.
A strain.
For a
that's
lock.
Interesting.
I'm wondering if he's thinking. I think he's probably going to barrel roll to the right.
Behind the cloud.
Surely,
Yeah.
You've got to. I mean, that puts you in Obi-Wan's bullseye, but it gets you some defense on against that. Yeah.
No,
To the left.
Okay.
I think the lock probably gave him some insight onto whether or not he can get out of the ion cannon turret. But I don't love that. I really don't like that.
Either.
I don't like that. I think, he's blocked the shot, but what it does do actually is if he gets ioned, there's no way for Annie to come in and do an advanced proton torpedo next round. So he's at least stopped that.
Annie would give it a good go with a cheeky little boost there, but we'll see.
Here's Von Reg's shot into the Y-wing at the broadside. Just gets 2, and broadside's able to evade 1 and just take a plink, which is really...
He's actually spent. Like, that's interesting, because I would have thought you would want to see if you can get that cheeky little ion.
Right, okay. Some interesting... I know the guys have tested this a lot, so obviously they recognise board states a bit better than we would in this scenario, but I definitely would have wanted to save that focus. But I'm sure Michael's got a plan here. He probably just knows how quickly broadside explodes.
Oh, and he blanks out.
Cloud saves him at least.
The cloud. Yeah, I was interested there because I would have, unless he thinks that's range 3, like why aren't you just looking at trying to nail a strained Von Reg with your ion cannon?
It could be. It could be range 3. I mean, it's definitely changed.
Oh, sorry, it was range 3 because we know he rolled 2 dice.
True. So actually, he did make the right. Oh, that's why he spent it. We are so.
We'll catch up.
We'll catch up.
We're 9 second delay ourselves, so.
We will catch up. I was too busy getting ready to update the overlay. Okay, so that was a good call there from Tommy getting out of the range there. He definitely used his TTSI to succeed on that. Great shot there from Kylo. Luminara forces one of the hits to get changed down to an eyeball. And he just spends the lock. That's probably a better idea. He gets 3 hits. It's an advanced proton torpedo. That is a very, very good outcome. I mean, I think the chances were pretty high for that to not take any damage. That was into Anakin, right? Or was that into Luminara?
That was into Lumi, and that was clutch.
Wow, that was clutch then. That was very clutch. So that's 1 proton torpedo down. No damage yet either side, but pulling out one of those proton torpedoes is very, very powerful. Ooh, Lumi gets 2 hits. Any damage into these aces at any point in the game is powerful, and that's a damage.
That's a point of damage.
That is 1 damage in on Kylo. That's a massive trade. It might not seem like it to the layman, but that is a huge trade. Just any damage into Kylo is powerful, and he's now forceless and taking another shot from Annie here. See, I would have liked it if he'd taken the lock on Annie. It wouldn't have made any difference here, but I would have liked to have it. Just the threat of it is powerful.
Yeah, just the one there, and you're right. That aggression here from Tommy just hasn't paid off for him with no damage coming in. That said, now that we know that was not at range 2 there and it was safe from the ion, Von Reg's actually in a pretty reasonable position. Obi-Wan isn't in a great spot to try and deal with Von Reg, I don't think. Right now, the last thing you want to do in a Nita 2 is joust anybody. So even with that barrel roll to the left in the system phase. It's probably not on this turn, I don't think.
Yeah, I think what Michael needs to be careful of is the proton torpedoes from Kylo into Obi-Wan, because that's going to look very sore. I mean, you can evade, and you'll have 3 force and an evade if you don't do anything else. I mean, do you just punch in here with Obi? Do you just 5 straight and evade with Obi and just gum it up? Because you've got to assume, although I keep forgetting Supernatural Kylo, he just can do almost anything he wants.
Pretty much.
Yeah, board state, in terms of damage on the board, Michael is definitely in the lead, but I feel like both players have a lot of options in this next activation phase to get some good positioning here. Where do you put Anakin? Where does Anakin get the most value?
Actually, it depends. So if you think that Von Reg is going to turn in towards the right hand side of the board and start chasing the Republic list around, squadron, sorry, you could actually just do a big turn with Anakin and start threatening Von Reg with some APTs. So that's one option if you think that that's going to happen. Your other one is to play a little bit conservatively. What I don't love in terms of Anakin's position, though, is that like Kylo Ren being able to, with supernatural reflexes, just change that angle there and maybe barrel roll to the right before you turn in, means that trying to nail down Kylo is like, you'll have to be psychic and lucky rather than just one of those two to actually nail Kylo. So I actually think that what Von Reg doesn't want is an APT, and so you might want to threaten it.
An ion bomb there coming out from broadside, and big bygone J1 has a really fun fact in the chat. 121 point Kylo divided by 6 health is 20 points for every damage. So in a different sort of world where we score every damage, Michael is up, and that damage on Kylo was very big. He pulled out a proton torpedo and got a damage into Kylo. That was a great round for Michael, and I think he needs to do something to capitalize on it. I like Annie's position here because I think Annie has a good chance just to block up the opportunity for Kylo to come in. So, and we should also mention a strain has gone in on Obi-Wan there, which he will be keeping.
Interesting, because he's just K-turned.
So what's the range? It's range 0 to 3, isn't it, on Obi's ability? It doesn't matter because I think it's after they move, right?
Yeah, so he's got that opponent here, range 0 to 1. So more than his friendlies, so he should trigger his ability if he wants to.
Is that I can never remember how this Obi-Wan's ability works. Range 0 to 3. If there are more enemy ships than others, cool. All right. Yeah, I feel like that's not gonna it's not gonna proc too much in this one. So we got the supernatural from Kylo, of course. What else would he do? So I'm wondering what he's got dialed in here. He's probably just gone for a bump. Yeah, 5 straight.
That's
not a great spot.
No, it's the dice will tell whether Michael will capitalize on this.
Oh, no dial set there for Von Reg. Pretty sure it was set.
Now it's not up to us to judge this. So we'll just have a look at the chat.
It was set. I just had a look at the chat.
Set by all players, yeah.
So I think it's just a bit of a... Not sure what happened there. It didn't... I'm trying to see in the chat if there was all dials have been set. I think... look, there's not a huge amount riding on this one, so I think the guys are probably going to take it a little bit casual, which is totally fine. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what happened to that dial. I can't see in the chat.
Yeah, I think you boost around here.
One bank was a reasonable... he's sort of caught between a rock and a hard place here, because if he goes... Well, if you get that range... Yeah, they should have avoid range 1 there, but if you get that range 1, you're taking an advanced proton torpedo to the face.
But what you are also copying is Aorta Blaster Anakin.
Ah, correct. Correct.
Blaster.
That
Auto
was a
Blaster,
great position
P1.
from Michael. Yeah, that was really good.
So yeah, pick your poison, and that bomb there was just really just insurance against the escape move.
Yeah, it really did block off. That was a brilliant move from Michael, I think. That was he really gave Von Reg very few options there. So he keeps the range 2 into Anakin, which is great. He does have range 2 to broadside, and it's they're totally even. So broadside will be able to shoot back unobstructed.
Now,
Also,
take the
sorry,
one there.
Anakin is getting range 1 R7A7 Auto Blaster here.
That's Obi-Wan.
Sorry.
Obi-Wan.
Yeah, got excited. That's a really good... If he rolls a natural crit here, that's half points on Von Reg. Oh, doesn't quite get it. Basically, he can spend a force and a charge, and he's got a crit in. Yep, that's what he does. That's definitely the best way to do it. So did we get a damage in on... I wasn't watching.
Yeah,
we
get
did
one on broadside.
damage on broadside, yeah. It's too excited about the next shot.
Actually, I'm really excited about broadside shot.
Yeah, broadside shot's going to be very interesting. So Kylo does have an unmodded range 1 shot into broadside here. Broadside's taken 1 damage. So still looking good for Michael here. Tommy's going to have to hope for some good dice. Not really what you want.
Average dice.
Perfectly average. You'll just take that 2 on the shields, I think. You've got such a good ion cannon turret shot into the Von Reg here. So
You've also got range 1 into Kylo. And I know we don't score the points that way, but you know, 20 points a pop.
I guess see what Anakin can do here.
Yeah.
He didn't pop passive. I think he pulled out the charge to say he was popping passive sensors. So I think he did activate passive sensors.
Yes, he did activate passive sensors.
Yeah.
So we'll get his lock now.
Which is great. Can you? I think 1 forward will still give you arc. Oh, you can pre-move barrel roll in one bank. So yeah, if he gets if Von Reg is ioned, Von Reg is taking an advanced proton torpedo. Nothing you can do to stop that.
Just 1 hit here from Lil Annie.
You're going to fully mod your advanced proton if you don't spend.
He spent it. And plenty of paint there.
I would have saved it. Because you then fully modded advanced proton torpedo. Feels good. But I guess Von Reg's close to death.
Well, Von Reg's only taken 1. And
I mean, if this ion cannon turret hits anyway, and it does.
And it does. So
That's a damage and an ion. That's half points on Von Reg. Sorry, I forgot to update the overlay there, guys.
You just tried his
Lone Wolf
there, because that would have stopped the ion if he rolled a natural. In fact, if he rolled a picture.
So yeah, the dice, the evade dice not coming to Tommy's aid there. That ion is going to be massive. That's you advanced. You'd use. Does that fit? Sorry guys, I'm just going to move the camera a little bit. I just want to see. Does Annie's barrel roll 1 bank actually work? I don't think it does.
Failing that, like you could just auto blast Von Reg to death.
Oh, true.
And save your APT.
That's actually a great point.
If you think you can possibly somehow nail Kylo with it, like you know Michael's playing and I'm not, so I wouldn't rely on it, but I'm just commentating. I'm just talking.
Let's have a look at the dials because I always forget it. For the Ada, it's still fairly new ship. So he won't be able to clear his stress, and he may not be able. A 2 bank will clear, but it will bump, and it won't give him the bullseye. So he's going to have to just hope that the dice work out for him against the Von Reg. So ion bombs, are all gone now.
Super interesting as well, because somehow if Von Reg survives, look at where he's going to end up. Especially now that he's just thrown down that range ruler, going to end up somewhere near that cloud. You could get ion next round if you somehow survive.
Yeah, I think he does. I think he does get ioned. You just go for the block with Anakin.
The thing is that you don't want to block. You don't want to block everything. You don't want Von Reg to be touching both Obi-Wan and Anakin.
But I think it's
just took the bump.
yeah, because I think that's a good position for Michael there. Kylo can bug out. He can advanced supernatural.
I could actually just
too hard, maybe.
Yeah, but no, it's too close to the iron bomb.
That's why I was thinking he had a 5-stroke. 1 hard. Oh,
That's close to the iron bomb as well. And you've already barrel rolled. That's extremely close. Yeah. Don't boost. No.
Oh, I cleared it.
Oh, he fits. Oh, well, in that case, you got 2 ways to get nailed.
You've got passive senses, Anakin, and you could just die straight up to Obi if he rolls a natural crit. Oh,
it's so close.
I mean, you could be getting Ion again from broadside anyway.
If you survive.
Yeah, you take 2 shots before broadside shoots, so it's fair. There was a good 1 hard there good eye from Tommy for that Kylo. I thought for sure he was copping that.
And I wonder if Tommy goes for the initiative kill here on broadside.
He's probably gonna have to. He's got to do something here. He's got to try and claw his back. He got 5 hull left on broadside. Oh, that's not what you want to see. You don't spend it, Tommy. You don't spend it. Or do you? Actually, I think you do.
Yeah, I think you do.
You're dying anyway, probably. Or at least getting ioned again, and then you're strained from the gas cloud. It's not looking great. Yeah. Evades it. That's 2. So you got 3 hull left on broadside there.
Possibly 0 hull in a minute, but Obi-Wan is shooting first.
Big thank you to the guys for keeping their dice clean. Appreciate it. I did ask them to.
Pulled out the auto blaster here.
Oh,
just the 1.
Just the 1 crit. Oh, does Annie go for the advanced proton torpedoes? Console. Not enough to kill him this round.
You know what? I still don't think you do. Although we've got Kylo Ren coming up, and you could actually potentially initiative kill broadside.
He's got a focus, so he's got mod. Doesn't have... No, he's got prime thrusters.
Lots of paint there.
That'll do it. You spend it and he's dead. You just spend...
No,
yeah, you spend it.
You've got... 1, 2... No, yeah, an evade will... A picture will save... Oh, no, it won't.
No, it won't. He's dead. Oh, Luminara. Oh, it doesn't... Either way, he spends the focus here. It doesn't matter. Sorry, Vonreg, broadside got incredible value, we got incredible value out of broadside here. I think Michael would have loved to have kept him around for another round because he's a good bully to scare Kylo. But he dropped both of his ion bombs and used them to, I think, good effect. This is a range one into Kylo from Luminara.
It is. And that's another damage.
It's another 20 points. Not scored, but... you know, in value.
Let's see what you do here.
I think you just probably throw primary because he's got no mods. Yeah.
Yeah, so in the primary.
Perfect. That's the perfect roll. Spends his own force, and then you need natural. Oh, he does have lone wolf still, so it's not totally over.
He's at least 2. He gets natties.
Gets it.
Oh man.
So this just became a very different game.
That's clutch. Although somehow, no, you could do it. You could do it. This is huge.
Do you, if you're Michael, do you go, man, I wish I spent that APT, or are you just going, you know what, that was always a chance. The chance wasn't high, but that was always a chance.
Yeah, hashtag X-Wing Fitness says never complain about your own dice. It was always a chance, but honestly, I would have done the same thing. And maybe I would have rolled my eyes. Maybe I would have done some push-ups, but I would have done the same thing.
Yep, I agree. I think you look at it going, the odds tell me that my 3 dice with a force and a target lock. And let's not forget, Console Fire could finish off the Major as well. And Luminar is in a position where she can get into a good space that might block him from evading the gas cloud. But she will need to make a choice about that because Vonreg has the one hard, which he probably doesn't want to do. He wants to get away from Obi-Wan. Where do you send Vonreg here to try and... He needs to clear that Console Fire. So you can't go left. You have to go right.
Nope. You basically have to go right in some fashion here. I wouldn't mind basically going as fast as you can.
I think a straight hits the gas cloud too, so he needs to...
Needs to turn right in some fashion,
right.
yeah. Now, Obi-Wan, unfortunately, is a little bit blocked up unless you... This is where, again... But this is where your ship chassis ability can actually help you with that barrel roll to the left and just open up some of your moves, which means you can actually still take your action after you activate. So there's still, there's still some options here for Obi-Wan Kenobi, and of course, Vonreg needs to worry about, a cheeky little auto blaster with a crit flipped up, and so does Kylo for that matter.
Harp Daddy in the chat saying he definitely would have spent the APT there. Look, the way I look at it is you go, okay, am I going to get to shoot this advanced proton torpedo into Kylo Ren? Almost certainly not, so I probably spend it. But also you go, the chances are here that he doesn't get three evades. He's got only one reroll, and I've got all the mods I need. I probably wouldn't have spent it in that moment, but in hindsight, obviously, it's easy to go, yeah, I should have shot the 5. But Marcel as well in the chat saying always shoot the 5 when you can. I think Mike would have gone, damn, I probably should have shot that. But I think the math tells you that you probably kill him regardless. And if you can somehow get that advanced proton torpedo on Kylo, you probably win the game just on that. So yeah, but I agree with what Marcel said. Supernatural Kylo never be range 1 of Anakin. So yeah. But we were into the next round here, and sending Anakin around, probably a good idea. He needs to reset a little bit. Good position there for Obi-Wan. A good little...
Just jammed him up behind the gas cloud, though, and I expect Vonreg will turn and then roll away. Here comes Supernatural Kylo.
So Kylo uses his barrel roll before his maneuver. So it's really important to keep that in mind because he can still do all of his actions that he needs to once he's done this pre-move action. So he can still use his ship ability to do a boost.
2 forwards. Interesting.
That blocks up a lot of the opportunities for Vonreg there.
No, it's okay. And he's it'll be very close to see whether we've got some auto blaster action coming on. Now
that's really gummed up what Vonreg could have done. I'm wondering if he's doing a straight.
Disregard.
Doing the straight 5k. Just wants to get a final see you later. Doesn't take the strain. Doesn't really matter. He's got a 50-50 chance of just exploding anyway. And Anakin's still got that lock on him. Yeah, I think McLovin making a good point as well. The APT does ensure that Kylo really can't risk the range 1, and I think that threat is probably what Michael's thinking as well. You just can't. That's such a powerful tool, and it does sort of create a bubble around Anakin that Kylo can't play in. There was the console fire roll from Vonreg. Does not explode to the console fire.
You shoot Lumi at range 1.
You shoot Lumi. You absolutely shoot Lumi, right?
Yeah.
I don't think you can risk the shot into little Annie, little orphan Annie. Yeah. Lumi just creates so much defensive power, and she is going to use her defensive power here. Any natural hits will become an eyeball. You just change. Oh, he doesn't spend it.
You'll just assume you get a picture.
Yeah.
And if not, you've got your shield there to take that on.
It's just because he had the focus, but I guess he wants to use that on Kylo. Probably just shoot Kylo here.
Yeah, you'll low percentage, although the thing is the way that Supernatural Kylo's been flying is kind of like it's a sort of YOLO Supernatural reflexes. Got no force to back him up, although 2 natural evades there he didn't need at that time.
Still taking the Lumi shot as well.
Yep.
And Vonreg does have a decent out next turn to fix that console fire if he needs it.
Yes, he does.
If Anakin doesn't blow him up, which he may not do.
And I think you just keep 1 here.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have the bullseye. Lumi can use her ability. Oh, she didn't. She chose not to. Because he mods first. Here we go. And you're fine. You've got the evade.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael's defense here has been really great. Just really limiting the damage that these aces can put out. And the scrum has just, I think, really favoured. Oh, that's a good shot there from Anakin. Doesn't get it.
Finally nails him. 1 turn too late.
Oh, he's checking for Lone Wolf, and Lone Wolf is not active.
No, you knew that because you would have seen the firing arc come up with Kylo Ren at range 2. Unfortunately for Tommy, so Anakin gets him just 1 turn too late, or 1 round too late, for the Australian fans out there. But I personally think that actually that deterrent factor of an APT is something that Michael could use.
I think so. I think there's value in that. He needs to try and shepherd Kylo as much as he can. It's not an easy thing to do, but Kylo is getting pretty force-staffed here. He's been at empty force every engagement for the last, I think, 3 or 4 engagements. And that's meant that his attacks, he can't be taking target locks on his turn, so forcing that supernatural use. I mean, Michael is up at the moment. He's leading 67 to 24. 67 to 44. 1 more damage on Kylo is half points, and that's an extra 61 points in your pocket if you're Michael.
It's crazy.
So the onus now is on Tommy. He's going to have to play this a long game. He's going to have to get Kylo out, reset, and I think come back in with some tricks, because I don't think he can keep up this brawl for very much longer.
Yeah, not right now, especially since he's stressed. Means he actually can't activate supernatural reflexes.
Oh, but he's spent the points.
He's got primed. Yes, you're right. He's got that primed thruster. So
important to note, he's still got a proton torpedo, and that can just wipe any one of these ships nearly off the board. Anakin's the most defensive, but that could wipe Obi and Luminara off the board, and that pretty much turns the game here. So Tommy's not out by any stretch. He's still got 121 point Kylo sitting on the board there. He just needs to reset, and I'm wondering if he will, or he'll keep the pressure on.
Now, I don't mind this.
Great. Two purple Talon there from Michael's Obi-Wan. Kylo's in a bit of a tough spot here.
He's throwing down supernatural. Here we go. Oh, is he going to go 5 straight?
Surely.
Yeah, but then somehow you'll say hello to Mr. Auto Blaster.
I'm going to hit that gas card too with a 5 straight. And then, you're right. Bullseye. Oh, too hard. Good. Yeah, very good play. We were wondering whether he would cut out or he would keep putting the pressure on, and he's chose pressure.
It's not really pressure though, because there's no shot here, and Luminara, like you're actually almost better off. You're almost better off not using supernatural reflexes and just doing your too hard. Put you in almost the same position. Yeah, you save yourself from a shot from Annie, But that's at what, range 3 maybe? And what you've done is you've 4-starved yourself again, and you're still copying range 1.
Yeah, I do agree. I think
Not a great roll though, and he'll survive, so that pays off.
I just think Tommy needs to. I mean, I'd love to hear everyone else's opinion in the chat here because we do have a few of the other Team USA players in the chat. What do we think? What do you guys think? What should Tommy do here? How does he? He's not in a bad position by any stretch, but I think he would really value. He would get a lot of value out of a reset. Or do you keep the pressure on? Do you keep knife fighting? I mean, your Supernatural Kylo knife fighting with 3 ships, 2 of which are also very good knife fighters in their own right. Obi-Wan, with those 2 purple talons, just becomes such a pain to deal with. What do you think, Suresh?
I actually think he needs to reset and pick another engagement, and ideally, like in the ideal world here for Tommy, he blows away Obi-Wan Kenobi with a proton torpedo, and then has the rest at his own leisure, because there's still plenty of time left. We've still got 36 minutes left to go, and I just don't think Supernatural is going to hold up all day in this knife fight.
No, and I think, like you said, I mean, you've got a proton torpedo there, and that's a missile. Sorry, a torpedo. With the missile icon at range 2 to 3, and you're fighting in range 1 bubble at the moment. And yeah, it's the same amount of dice, but that crit and the range bonus denial at range 3, that's where Kylo needs to be. He needs to be getting this off, and I think if he can do a reset, I think maybe what he's trying to do here, if I try and put myself in Tommy's shoes, that last turn was get a lock. So just stay close enough to get a lock to then reset. I actually think if he'd kept the 2 hard in there and not Supernaturaled, it's whether or not he would have hit that gas cloud. Because if he could have 2-hearted lock boost, that would have been very, very good. That would have kept him out of all the arcs and would have given him the opportunity to reset and have a lock and fully mod proton torpedo. Yeah, Tom calling in the chat. A boost over Anakin, boost over Obi, and a 2-hard would have been great. And I agree. I think that would have given him the opportunity to take the lock and really reset. But he did. The dice did end up failing Michael there and gave Kylo the out. So what do you do here with Kylo now? You've got a system phase boost from Obi-Wan. Is that a sloop? 5k. 2 hard from Anakin. He's got that focus. The target lock for the advanced proton torpedoes. I would love for Michael to prove everyone in the chat wrong and get one of this APT into Kylo. I want Tommy to win just as much as I want Michael to win because I want them both to have a good game. But everyone was very adamant that he should have spent that advanced proton torpedo. So let's see what happens now. Kylo does have a very clear boost to the left to get out of there. Oh, never mind.
Purple. I think Michael's really selling himself out for a kill box here, and I actually don't know that I like it.
I don't think you get it. So Marcel in the chat, Kylo's been too aggressive. He's been too aggressive, but it's understandable considering this is not his list, and Kylo Von Reg requires a very specific style of play that relies on caution over aggression. Tommy, like myself, is a naturally aggressive player. Hard to turn that off sometimes. Totally agree, Marcel. I'm also pretty naturally aggressive. But I think Tommy's doing a great job. Yeah, we should call out Tommy. Tommy is the sub, so this is not... this is not his glove, so it doesn't quite fit him. But he is one of the subs, so he's a very generalist player, I'd say. So he's done a great job flying this 2-ship A squad.
This 4K, though, man. Like, this is Danger Will Robinson for Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Very danger, but we have no mods from Kylo here. This is totally naked dice into a single force mod for Obi. So that's
when that happens.
Yep. We could all be wrong here. Yep.
Yeah, no, it's like I think we're gonna see some really weird things happening for the next 33 minutes.
That was yeah, wow. Here we are saying Tommy needs to reset, and Tommy goes, you know what? I'm not resetting nothing. I'm not resetting anything. I am doing my 4K, turning around. That does put Marcel. Sorry, Marcel. I was reading Marcel. That does put Tommy in the lead. But it is a fairly tenuous lead because just one more point of damage into Kylo.
Yeah, but I think, like we said, and that's not what he wants to see at all. Kylo, like, you'd back Kylo Ren to deal with two ships at lower initiative, especially with a proton torpedo available. So I don't like the chances here, unfortunately, for Michael.
Here's the interesting thing. That barrel roll the barrel roll definitely killed Obi-Wan there, because if Obi-Wan had stayed where he was, he probably evades. And Luminara's ability is active, and she saves one of those damages. So not a bad. I think that was an interesting. He needed to try and get a kill box on. He knew that he couldn't let Kylo Ren reset. But I probably like us, Michael probably didn't expect the aggression there from Tommy. That was a really aggressive, dangerous play. And now Kylo and Tommy both back in this game significantly in the lead in points and in board state, I'd say.
Oh, definitely. Like I don't know, Cam. What do you do if you're Michael?
I think you probably crack open a beer. You try and calm down, and you just try and enjoy the ride. This is a really hard spot for him to come back from. Luminara just can't quite output the damage, and Anakin needs to get this advanced proton torpedo off, but without two ships coming up the lanes, it's just free reign now for Kylo. He just does whatever he wants, especially with prime thrusters. You're not going to stop him. You're not going to catch him. He can just run for the rest of the game. It would make a very boring 31 minutes. But it's probably pretty rough, and I think Michael recognises that and is just going to try and enjoy the rest of the game.
Yeah, that's a fair call. Because you would not pick the... I mean, you might have picked the 4K. You probably didn't pick the unmodded shot there, just cleaning you up. Unfortunately for the Eater 2 fans in the house. I actually possibly wouldn't mind I know. Just a lazy 2-bank left. See what you can do.
Yeah, everyone in the chat. You guys are 90 seconds behind us. You can see exactly when Obi-Wan died. Everyone in the chat sounding off. Pretty spectacular. Pretty spectacular shot there from Kylo. I mean, this is a decent blocking lanes, but I mean, you're not getting the shots.
Well, actually, he doesn't want the shot this round.
I mean, Kylo can't boost, but he can barrel roll.
So what he's expecting, I think, here is actually for Kylo to just take a nice, fast, straight move.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Here comes supernatural reflexes, so disregard me.
Tommy has chosen aggression every single time. I am just not expecting a reset at this point. I think he just wants to keep pressure on now. So Epionic mentioning Kylo can try and conserve some force now. Lumi can't get him in arc, and he just needs to be mindful of Anakin. Totally agree. But I tell you what, Tommy is just reasonable. Aggressive.
That's reasonable. Well, I mean, this is quite controlled because you get range one shot at Luminara with nothing coming back at you.
But I mean, if I'm Tommy at this point, I just go, look, I'm 5 straight and I'm out of there. I'm just going to 5 straight, reset, get a proton torpedo, smash into Anakin probably, or kill Lumi. Oh, another good shot. Lumi just takes it. It's a shield down on Lumi. Yeah, I think this is going to be a very uphill battle. Michael has to try and force Tommy into a mistake. But I'm not sure he'll be able to do it. Tommy's just been making some really great calls here. And the supernatural, it's a different game. It's not even X-Wing at this point, is it? It's you make decisions, and then I will see them, and then I will then decide where I'm going to be. Supernatural, just a powerful card. It's very expensive. as well. I mean, I can't remember exactly the price. Let me just have a quick...
It was about 24, I want to say, for Initiative 5, something like that.
Yeah, 24 points. 24 points. Prime Thrust is 9 points. Yeah, super expensive Kylo, but I mean, you can just see the power of it. You just feed in Von Reg, and just give Kylo enough time and whittle away enough of the other side, and you can just dominate. I mean, I want to ask the question, what do you do if you're Michael here? How do you try and bring this back? You've got a Talon roll from Annie, but you're not going to be doing much with that. Luminara doesn't have many options to get a block on. You've probably got another Talon roll or 4K in from Kylo, because that's just how Tommy plays it.
Yep. Oh no, it's the evade off your full throttle. I'm wondering if you still try and lock up Kylo, because the deterrent is really the only control aspect that you actually have.
Okay,
so
that's good.
In that regard, still having the APT is better than nothing, because as pretty much everybody in the chat knows, you know where Kylo's not going to be, which is range 1 of Anakin Skywalker's front arc. So with that, you've actually got, like, it's better than nothing, even though it's not great, and that's probably what you need to think about using. Now, Luminar has opened up a pretty wide arc here, and I wouldn't be surprised if the move that Tommy set in for Kylo is a turn to the right, looking to like super roll left, turn right, but that won't quite work anymore.
I'm saying he's got a 4K in. Every time I think he's going to turn away, he's just turned his arc around.
4K.
So now I'm going to say 4K, and then he'll do the escape maneuver. But the amount of time he's spending thinking, I think he's got a 4K in, because you're just too hard if you've done the too hard.
And here comes Supernatural, and he's rolling.
He's going to boost. Roll.
Yeah, he just pinged the table there.
Ooh, I wonder what he's got. Maybe the too hard. Maybe he does have the too hard. Oh, he can. That's right. He can boost off it. Oh, that is disgusting. He's got a 4K. Oh, 2 bank. Oh. This could be half points. This could actually be half points. If he cops a strain here, that's really bad for Kylo. Ooh, gets the strain. Yeah, Bionic, my agency. Yeah.
No,
so this could be it, guys. This could be it.
Controls.
Then the game sort of turns. I mean, 2 hits. Oh, gets it. That's half points.
Again.
That's just swung the game back. It's now. I mean, board state. Tommy still has a very, very clear lead here, but 25 minutes, he's got to get a damage into Lumi, or 3 damage into Anakin. 3 damage into Anakin.
But the thing you've done here, and compounding on this really unfortunate mistake, and I'm remember, we're not unbiased, but we try to sound unbiased. The really unfortunate thing here for Tommy is that just the way he's clipped this gas cloud, it does actually cut down his supernatural options for the next round, which means that if Michael wants to try and capitalize, now is the time.
I'm just adjusting our view here just to give us a bit of a better insight into what the guys are looking at here. I'll zoom out a little bit because Kylo can go anywhere, can't he?
Not quite. It's not left.
Oh, he can't. Yeah, he can't. Well, he can go left. Anakin can come around that gas cloud, I suppose. Yeah. Michael really needs to try and delay a good engagement from Kylo. He needs to try and threaten Kylo as much as he possibly can here. He's still got Luminara and no, doesn't have a an Anakin lock. Gets it. Gets it now, though. Marcel in the chat, every time I question our team's choices in the chat, they go ahead and start taking over the game just to spite me. No respect. Yeah, sometimes, I mean, that's why you've got the teammates, right? They've got their own plan. I had a feeling he was going to 4K, and I didn't want to say it. I should have said it.
Okay.
I was wondering whether or not you don't shoot to keep the strain on, but I mean, Kylo's clearing the stress and the strain next turn anyway, so
yeah.
But yeah, neither have great shots here. I'll just reset the camera.
Looks like he's just gonna.
Sorry, I did
line
like
there.
Oh no, Anakin. Never mind. Ignore me. Yep, looks good.
And yeah, plenty of dice here for Kylo Ren. Pretty much needs a blank out to actually do any damage.
A blank out all focuses.
All focuses.
Yeah, that Kylo move last round, Bygone just mentioning, was tight to fit those moves in and hide behind the clouds. Got to try these things. I agree. It was an interesting decision. It was a really good setup from Michael, actually. That 5K was a really good choice, just spreading that arc wide. Something for people to keep in mind is when you're dealing with an ace, like a slippery ace like Kylo, you've got to spread the arc. The tighter in you get to the opposing ace, the easier it is for them to avoid your arc. So you've got to get out wide, set wide arcs, and give them less opportunities to escape.
Now, if you're Kylo here, and rather, I'm gonna rephrase that. If I was Kylo, I would start bullying little Annie.
I think Lumi. I agree, because I'm looking at it going, all right, Kylo barrel rolls pilot right, then just goes in for Annie, but. I'm thinking, what do you do with Luminara? Does Luminara 5K? I was thinking 5K with Luminara, but then that leaves you totally open for Kylo to just turn left and just blow you up.
Yep.
I know it's hard. If I'm Michael, I'm stressing.
Just a straight 3 there and a barrel roll. Just get in nice and tight. No real good options there for Lumi to get a bead on Anakin, and Anakin using his pilot ability now.
Do you boo focus? Oh, I would have liked a boost. I would have liked a boost.
I actually not sure I like that at all.
The boost or what he's left it with?
Yeah, just the position really, because yeah, and a lazy something and 2 straight.
But 2 straight looks good for him here because he can just. Oh,
no.
Oh, that is tight.
I think he's out of arc. She's out of arc.
Oh, that is a Tommy Adams move. I'm gonna be patenting a few of these as Tommy Adams moves. He flies Kylo like I've never seen someone fly Kylo before. Total, just so aggressive. I love it. Oh, Tommy didn't clear the stress.
No, 1 turn.
Doesn't really matter, but it just meant he couldn't get a lock. That would have been a great spot for a lock.
And range 2. Now he does have a force available.
Doesn't spend the lock. Yeah, he's fine. That crit would have been nasty to go in, especially if it's something like damaged engines or something. Full force back on Kylo for the first time in a really long time. I think since the beginning of the game.
Pretty
so
much.
Tommy has sort of done both. He's stayed aggressive and reset in a way. he still can't K-turn this turn, so I think, is there a way that Mike can capitalise on that? Because the onus is on Mike here to push in and get more damage into Kylo. Is there a way you can capitalise on the lack of Talon rolls and 4Ks this turn?
Two things. Well, I think the onus is actually on Kylo to get in and do some damage. He's behind the game now, being at half himself. So what you can do, and this is where if you want to try that trick again, like a supernatural roll to the Kylo's left with a turn in, might get you something, but with the 2 ships behind you, it's just not optimal for Kylo. Like, you can do a lot of things, you just can't do them all, especially when you're stressed. So I will not specifically say that he's going to reset, but he's just got to change the geometry here, and maybe with a supernatural boost to see if it will punish a possible K turn from Luminara. It might be his option here.
I tell a lie, by the way. Kylo did have full force last turn, I think, as well. Oh, just hits that gas cloud. I don't think he's too upset about it.
I just thought what's upsetting is, although he can roll off it before the next round with his pilot ability, but what's upsetting is that he doesn't get the opportunity to take that action and to really chase Kylo or put him in a prime position for a good shot.
Epionic saying Tommy cleared the stress. I think he thought it was the strain. I'm not sure what you're referring to. He does have a stress, and he should have a stress. So maybe, I don't know, maybe that was 90 seconds ago. I'm not sure. But he should have a stress, and he does have a stress.
Yeah, he threw down the 1 turn there after the K turn.
I think he's got a too hard in here to the pilot right. I think he's going to barrel roll too hard.
Yeah. Problem is that actually possibly sets up an APT.
Marcel in the chat needs that 5 forward to get distance to set up the TL for Torp. Agreed, but I've been saying that for about 15 minutes now, and he still hasn't done it.
Yeah, you called it. What he's going to do here is, or even barrel roll. But
I think
that'll put you behind a cloud.
Lock
so you
and boost right.
Look, I'd take a shot at. Would you shoot at APT through a cloud at Kylo?
No. No.
Like, I'd consider that. Like, everybody who said it wasn't going to happen, it just happened, ladies and gents.
Yeah, granted, they put no caveats on that. They never said that it would. They never said, "Oh, it wouldn't happen unless it's through a gas cloud." No, they just said it'd never happen. I think you don't shoot it though. I mean, I guess like that bubble. I do think is being a really strong deterrent for Tommy here. So I think you just keep it. Yeah, you just keep it. We'll see.
Oh, that is soft.
Oh, actually, you know what? It's 5 dice.
Yes.
Against 4 dice, and it's a crit. Oh, I don't know. Oh.
Well, now you've chucked your 3 dice attack. Don't spend your lock, dude. You can spend your 4, so that's fine.
He hasn't rolled the dice yet.
Oh, sorry. I was just looking at. Got a bit distracted. Got excited.
Oh,
at
he's
the roll.
doing it. He's doing it. All you naysayers in the chat. You naysayers. I do think Kylo. I think Tommy missed an opportunity to take the lock. Oh,
he's already good.
Big claps. That's 3 crits. He's going to hope to not see 2. If he sees 2 blanks here, that could be a dead Kylo.
No, I think so he'll take 2 crits.
Sorry, I forgot about the cloud. My bad. So he's taking 2. He's taking 2 crits. That's what I meant. I was correct. The 2 blanks. I did the maths in my head already.
Disable power regulator.
Disable power regulator.
And another one.
The decks were shuffled. I will say the decks were shuffled. I shuffled them pre-game, and the guys hopefully shuffled them as well. Wow, that's huge. I mean, the disabled power regulators will both proc at the same time. So,
yep.
But now Mike really needs to get into position to capitalize. Where do you go to capitalize on this? And where do you put Kylo to prevent capitalization?
Well, You put him somewhere near the top of the board. So Lumi's out of the fight for a little while, and Anakin, of course, is facing the wrong way and is pointing at a gas cloud. There's nothing he can do to avoid that gas cloud next round. So I think you put Kylo somewhere around the top of the board. Marcel just catching up. Yes, shoot it, always shoot it. We said that the first time. And with 15 minutes to go, we've finally seen it happen. That's what I would do.
Yeah, it was the right call. I was thinking
Center.
it was 5 dice into 5 dice, but it was 5 dice into 4 dice, and that's what I didn't think about. So that was a really good call there from everyone else, other than me. Especially Michael. That was a brilliant call from Michael. Yeah, and just really good on the attack dice too. Marcel saying it's 100% on Tommy. I do agree. I mean, he put Kylo there. He had Supernatural as an option to sort of keep that range. And he's probably thinking what I was thinking, and that he wouldn't shoot it through the gas cloud. It's a great spot to put Anakin to punish next turn, and Lumi can come around as well. I think this is a good spot. This Ion could be really devastating for Tommy if he doesn't bug out, and he's not. I don't like that. I don't like that because that Ion,
it gives Anakin too many options to chase in the first instance, and gives Lumi a good flank in the next round as well.
And Kylo's got 1 health left. Yeah, Marcel's correct. The game's not over. It's still the same points that it was before.
That's correct.
But I mean, you know where Kylo's going, and Kylo cannot do any tricks. He's just going to have a focus, and that's it. There's a big Ion token. That's a big Ion token. So Anakin can 3 hard and boost. Not going to get a great shot, but Luminara's the one who's going to have to be the hammer here. She's going to have to still got the lock. The lock is still, both ships have Kylo locked. What do you do with Lumi here? Do you do a
Turn in
3 hard, 2 hard barrel roll and then boost in to get that? Get the well, actually the bullseye doesn't do anything if you don't have a focus token. So you've got 1 reposition and a focus action. That's all you can do. What do you do?
You got force.
Yeah, but you want to if you boost and barrel roll, you have to use the force. You've got. I think she's got 1 force.
Yeah, she's got 2.
She does have 2 force. He's only got. Oh, that's Anakin. She has 2 force. Sorry, let me move Obi-Wan down. He's been sitting there for too long. Oh god, this really turned around. That advanced proton torpedo. It's. I mean, the irony of it. Everyone's saying it's never happening. He should have shot it into the Baron. That turned the game. And I think the board state would have been very similar. Oh, so he goes for the 3 Talon. I thought he might not go for it, but it gives him the best shot.
I would have thought like a turn and then maybe a boost in.
He's checking out that bullseye. I don't know if he gets the bullseye there.
I think you do.
Boost forward. Yep, that'll give you a better chance at it. So you can't. That can't happen. What he's just done. That can't happen. Yeah, that can't happen. He just did the boost. He can't do that because while you're Ion, you can't do any other action. Oh no, sorry. I'm an idiot. He was just doing the boost to do the maneuver.
Yes, because you don't have 1 straight on the token. So you don't have 1 straight on your dial.
So here's Anakin's shot. You just don't need a blank. What do you get?
Oh, yes. You'll save that with a focus.
Oh right, that's right. It was only 2 dice.
And here's the range 1 with Lumi.
So this is the big one. This is the big one. Spends the lock.
Yep.
If he gets a picture here, that's a dead Kylo. That's victory to Michael here.
Oh, that was an epic game.
Well
that was
fought.
An epic fight back.
That was an incredible game. Just the positioning from both players. I mean, Tommy just played that hyper aggressive, and I think that made for a much better game for us to watch anyway. Obviously, it put him at risk of what the eventuality was, but yeah, it was a fantastic game. Well played from both players. Definitely one of my favourite games we've had on stream, I think.
Yeah, that went back and forth. Really interesting to see the way that ebbed and flowed, I think, with firstly the not the APT shot and Von Reg surviving. still died, lost broadside. Then you nailed Obi-Wan Kenobi with a 4K into a range one. So
All right, we're going to jump into the chat with the guys here. Really keen to talk to them about this one. So we'll just jump over there now. Fellas, that was such a good game.
Pretty exciting from our end.
That was so good. So firstly, Tommy, you played that so aggressive. I spent about 15 minutes saying, all right, I think now Tommy's going to do the 5 straight. Now Tommy's going to do. And everyone in the chat was saying Tommy's going to do the 5 straight. And you just kept the pressure on, and it obviously worked out really well for you.
Well, I'm aggressive player by nature. I had to keep holding that back. So this list kind of actually goes against my play style, honestly. But I'm a sub, so.
Yeah, Marcel actually commented on that in the chat. He said you were you're a very aggressive player, and this squad sort of needs someone with a bit more patience, I'm going to say. And I say that as also a very aggressive player. I would never fight this squad myself, so I think you did a great job. That 4K from the kill shot on Obi was such a good call. I thought that was really, really good.
Honestly, as I was telling him, I was actually going to go in this area. My plan was to do a 1 boost barrel roll and have a 4K and have a better lane.
Yeah.
But then he blocked it with Annie, so I was like, okay, I'll just go this way then.
So, Mike, how did you feel your plan went? What was your plan going in, and how well do you think you executed it?
That was pretty much my plan going in, is try and keep pressure on Kylo when Kylo set across, and then just use broadside to go, if Von Reg's coming in, you're eating ion shots, and just keep that cannon there, and that's the Von Reg. And try and keep those initial gas clouds, so Von Reg can't, that's why I came up this side, so Von Reg couldn't get quite so quickly into my flank. And apart from that, it went fine, except for when he 4K'd over the top of Obi. I'm like, oh, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah, I think that's where that's where someone playing a known squad in a different way sort of messes with your brain a bit, because I think we were all looking at, yeah, he's going to reset, he's going to get out of there, and he just went, nah, I'm 4K'ing and I'm going to blow Obi-Wan up. So that was really good.
I have 2 comments about that.
Yeah,
too.
go for it.
One is I at no game, I was like 2 times I called my dice. It's like Von Reg and Kylo was like, just roll all paint for me, please. And that's what happened both times. Von Reg got the natty 3 evades and then the 4 hits over here. It's like, just ask nicely. But maybe they'll listen.
He was very polite. It's just, if you could please roll natties here, and it's just like, oh, okay. You're just going to be polite with your dice then.
So a big elephant in the room, because there was a big elephant in the chat,
here we go.
was Michael, when you didn't shoot the advanced proton torpedoes into Von Reg. A lot of people in chat, and I'm not going to name any names, said that they thought that was the wrong call. Both I and Suresh both said that was the right call, and obviously now the game is finished, it was definitely the right call. But what was your thought process there?
I thought it was the right call. I figured, no tokens, I'm double modded, surely. The thing I should have done was shoot him with Lumi as well. I took the shot into Kylo with Lumi on that turn, and she had a range 3 on Von Reg. That's the shot I should have also taken that turn. Then I think that would have finished him off early. That was more important than the range 1 on Kylo I took. Yep,
and so the other elephant in the room, Tommy, is... So everyone was saying after... The reason behind that the APT into Von Reg was the right call, because they were like, that range 1 on Kylo from Anakin is never going to happen. He's dreaming. How confident were you on that boost there at the end, that sort of, instead of boosting straight or away, to give Anakin that advanced proton torpedo through the gas cloud?
Oh, you mean he with Kylo?
Yeah. What was the thought
Instead
process?
Of barrel rolling. Yeah, I was just hoping that he was just not going to do it, because I was trying to set up for next round.
Yeah,
That's why I boosted the angle. It's like, it doesn't look good for him to take it, and if he does, he's probably not going to get a full string until he rolled like I do right then. So I took the gamble. I took the gamble so I could get a better reposition for next shot.
And I'll admit, I agonized over that shot, because I was like, just target lock 1 force. He's got 4 dice with all the mods. screw it, Anakin's never getting another range one shot. Let's go.
Yep, and it ended up being the right call. I mean, everyone in the chat, again, the wiseness of the chat, they were saying this is the right call. He has to shoot it now. He has to shoot it now. But I was thinking as well that it was a bit of an agonizing choice because if you get all blanks, then you've wasted your winning piece on nothing. So, honestly, so well played from both of you. I think, Tommy, that you really showed the power of the supernatural Kylo and that he doesn't have to be the KG runaway boy. He can keep fighting. I mean, I think you played that really well to keep really good shots on.
Honestly, I've only played this once before, one practice game before this match, and I've flown a list with 2 SFs instead of all the supernatural stuff. So, but this exact list, I've only had one game beforehand with it. So I feel like pretty good of how I flew it, considering I have so little practice with it.
Yeah, no, honestly, like a big congratulations on how you flew it, and I think you really did show your skill here. And also, Michael, I think you really clawed that back well. You were very patient. You spread your arcs nice and wide, and you tried to minimize the options for Supernatural Kylo, and I think you did that really well. So
yeah, he did good.
Kudos to both of you. Any final words, guys?
No, it was a great game. Thanks, Tommy.
Yep.
Thank you both.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else, but yes, good
all
game.
good. Thank you both for
Thanks, gentlemen.
seriously fantastic game. That was so much fun. Everyone in chat everyone had their opinions. So if you want to go back and watch it, I definitely recommend it. It was just such a good match.
Oh. I always go back and watch them.
Good. So we'll have it on our Twitch channel, but I'll also upload it to YouTube later today, so you can watch it. You can watch it there as well if you like. So thank you both players. Congratulations to Team USA on making it through the group stage into the finals and taking out this round. And congrats to both Michael and also Ben Doyle, who won his match as well, making it 2-5 up against USA. So well done, guys, for wonderful games.
Thank you.
Yep, thanks for streaming.
No worries. All right.
Always a pleasure.
And thank you to everyone in chat for jumping in. That was a really, really great game. I think that was easily one of my most fun stream games ever. Just such a really entertaining match and 2 really interesting squads as well. I think some people might say Supernatural Kylo is a bit of an NPE, a negative play experience for some players. But I think that these 2 squads going up against each other was just such an entertaining game. Lots of tricks, lots of decisions. So yeah, well done, great game. And thanks for tuning in. And thank you to Suresh for co-commentating with me today.
I had a lot of fun, I tell you that.
Yeah, that was a really great match. So we'll be back again next week with some more games. So please do follow, and you'll get notification when we go live. And thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you all next time.
Thank you and good day.
Good day or good night or wherever you are.